Welcome to Cmd+AI, where we press Command F on the internet's AI news and somehow still can't find our sanity. My name's Samuel Gregory.
And I'm Kabarza, and we are here to decode the weekly chaos in AI, web design, and development. This week we have ChatGPT Fallout, essentially ChatGPT 5 being really bad. We have Google Chrome's API integrated in. Wait, I messed that up. What?
Google is embedding the
AI
Gemini Nano AI API
inside of the Google Chrome.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. We have the US government taking away 15% of the sales that AMD and Nvidia makes to China, and Anthropic just increased their context limit to 1 million tokens. We'll talk about what that means. We have a new app for Webflow called Miyagi.
Miyagi.
Miyagi. We have a new app for Webflow called Miyagi, which is an AI app that helps you do anything. We'll talk about that. And we have Perplexity trying to buy Google Chrome from Google for a whopping $34.5 billion. It's bonkers. They are worth half of that. We'll talk about all of that in this week's episode. So not so smooth.
So first of all, the craziness of GPT-5, the diversity across the board is wild. Sam Altman even kind of issuing an apology here where it could have gone a little bit smoother, let's be honest. People love it. People hate it. People miss it. It's just all of the emotions across the board here. First of all, let's go through the tweet here. It's Sam acknowledging basically that 4.0 is meaning a lot, which is interesting, that people are growing attached to these AIs. Even if GPT-5 performs better in most ways. And there's that objectivity there of just because it's better doesn't mean it's more favorable, who defines what is better, really.
So sorry to cut you off, but to backtrack a little bit, let's just explain what happened. OpenAI released ChatGPT 5 last week, and there were tons of videos. Like my social was full of people saying how amazing ChatGPT 5 is. I tried it and I was not blown away. I tried it and it felt like the same thing. It was the same thing to me, essentially. And now we are living the fallout, like people being really angry at OpenAI and also at creators, like at YouTubers, at people making videos, why they said ChatGPT 5 was so good while we are experiencing it being not so good. So as you were showing that a lot of people prefer the old version over the newer, better version, as Sam puts it.
So not a great start for them. People just comparing GPT 4.0 to 5, which is so interesting because you get obviously can't generalize too much, but some people just don't care. They just want the model. They just want it to do its thing and whatever. But when you actually show that there is a difference between models and they can see it, there is actually a desire to actually maybe go back.
Are you all right?
Could you hear that?
Maybe I could hear that.
Okay, fine.
I was like,
fine. Yeah. But then now let's get into the kind of meat of what Sam's going to say. Long term, this has reinforced that we really need good ways for different users to customize things. We understand there isn't a model that works for everyone, and we've been investing in steerability research and launched a research preview of different personalities. Some users really like emojis, some never want to see them. I'm probably never wanting to see them at all. Cold logic, where some people want warmth and whatever. So it is complex. You're trying to have one size fits all when it comes to just providing something for everyone.
Why not
Um,
add this to memory though? This is my question. Like,
sorry,
why not add this to memory though?
what do you mean?
So the way I see it, their naming sucks. Like I shouldn't be the one who chooses between models, even though I'm quite picky and I enjoy having a lot of customizability. But at the end of the day, if the model does what I want, I don't want to go and choose the model for each use case. I think in that sense, the idea of the router that they had to have one name that in the background essentially picks the best model, that idea I find it good. What is really bad is that people have different preferences, and what is bad when the AI model basically is not customizable to any person. And the way I would at least like think of approaching it would be similar to dia and memory. And just when I tell ChatGPT never use emojis, just remember it for my new and future chats as well. Just don't use emojis. I know it's not just don't, it's quite difficult to make these models do what you want to do, but that's about the approach that I would like them to take.
Can you confirm? Can you confirm or deny that it hasn't? Like, have you asked it to not use emojis, or have you asked it to not do
Yes,
or do something?
yes,
And is that now committed to memory? And
it
you're
is.
saying, and now you're saying ChatGPT 5, when it rolled out, it ignored a bunch of stuff.
So what I'm saying is I tell ChatGPT all the time, don't use M dashes. And I still repeat
You
myself. I
still
should
see
go,
them.
yeah, yeah, I still see them. They appear less, but I still definitely see them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the M dashes are annoying because, yeah, I think that's one of the. Any other, preferences that you have that you've thought you commit to memory, but ChatGPT 5. I'm talking about the transition now. I'm talking about the transition between ChatGPT 4.0 to ChatGPT
No,
5.
nothing
Is
specific,
there
but what
anything
I
that you can say that didn't? Okay, so it would be interesting if someone out there has set some sort of preference in ChatGPT 4.0 as they came into ChatGPT 5 that has ignored those preferences, because what you're saying is basically that apparently it ignores them, because
and
that
it's
would
not a new memory. I'm just saying that even
no old
it's not
memories.
it's the same old memory, but doesn't matter which model it is, it still refuses
Mm,
to do what I ask
yeah,
it to,
yeah,
if
yeah.
not outright make a mistake, which has been
Okay.
the case. Like I've been using it all day today and yesterday, like finalizing one of my components.
Yeah.
It has so many mistakes, and I'm like, why don't you understand my simple requests?
I'm sorry. I'm focused on the transition, not
Yeah,
the
I see.
performance of a model. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, got you. Well, let's keep going, because
sure.
yeah,
Yes.
it's the he's saying as well here that they're 100%. They're rolled out to 100% of pro users, and they're getting close to 100% of all users. And then we're going to focus on some changes to ChatGPT 5 to make it warmer. Really good per user customization will take longer. So that's what they're sort of saying as well.
Okay.
There's some, I don't know the specifics, but there are some partnerships in Cursor as well that they're
Yeah.
going to be working on.
Well, they
He doesn't
were.
mention that specifically in this thread, but yeah. So I think this is kind of ownership of not going as smooth, and they've done this a couple of times, I think, but the other aspect is Theo. I felt really bad for him in this video,
Yeah.
because he's obviously taken a lot of beatings for it. And what he's essentially saying in this video is that he experienced a different ChatGPT or a GPT-5 than what he experienced on launch day, which is what I want to kind of focus on here. Which is really interesting. You'd think they would get a reaction and then stick with that version and launch it, but they're obviously tweaking it probably until the last minute. And this is something that got me thinking today, and maybe we'll discuss it. But like, I swear, AI goes through mood swings, and I don't mean mood swings as in grumpy and happy. I mean just some, like yesterday, for example, I was doing a bit of coding, and any change that I would try and make, it would just try and clear all of these errors. Even if I'm saying do something in this file or do something with this function, I ended up having to put do not do anything else in this prompt.
Yes.
And it was just in a mood. Whereas today, I've not had that issue. It's just done pretty much exactly what I want. But it's anyway. I'm going slightly off topic.
The same thing is happening. Yeah. To me, and I believe this is like to everybody. Literally, like earlier today, I told I was using the app, told it to not delete anything, but just change 5 lines. It literally deleted everything and just replaced everything with 5 lines. And I'm like, why don't you understand this? But going back to that video, there is one thing I don't agree with Theo. I saw this video where he says he doesn't believe that ChatGPT, that OpenAI gave him and other creators a better version, and then they released a worse version. He doesn't believe in that, and I don't understand why. Like, I would not say, why shouldn't this be the case? It would actually make sense for why this happened, and also in terms of performance, not just pure ill intent of OpenAI, but what if they gave these creators an earlier version on, I don't know how much this matters, but like on infrastructure that is not so much limited, or like they gave them more free, like more time for the models to think or whatever. I don't know how they are managing the performance, but that couldn't that be the case, that they had a better version, and then when they released it and everybody started using the models degraded because of the performance issues?
I don't know whether AIs degrade in performance because of capacity. I think they might degrade in terms of performance, in terms of speed, because the GPUs are like working overtime, but it just takes longer. Again, I don't know, but it seems like it would just take longer for the answer to come out, not necessarily the quality of that answer. So that's my assumption. The other thing to consider is that he could have just been hyped. Like, he keeps stressing that, and this is a really common, maybe it's my personal belief, but this is something that I don't believe people quite understand, that when you're paid to advertise something, that doesn't necessarily mean you're giving cold hard cash. Like, if you're receiving something for free in order to make content or do something on it, that is a form of payment, and and more specifically, it's a contributor towards bias. So when I do see some creators say, look, they haven't paid me a cent, they just sent me this camera lens, don't get any say on the video, blah blah blah. By them sending you that camera lens is a slight bit of bias. So I don't know whether he was just super hyped, he was excited to be there. He was genuinely really impressed with the model. I have no doubt about that. But ultimately, it came down to, was it like buyer's remorse or something along those lines, where it's like, actually, it wasn't as good as, maybe it was just a day thing. I don't know. But like, yeah, regardless, he shared his opinion, and this is I don't know whether we were live before or after I mentioned this, but I actually wrote to him and I said, like, it's crazy that we live in a world where you just make videos and share your thoughts and opinions, and then people get upset about it, and you have to produce sorry, I should be sharing my screen really, but you have to produce a video like this to apologize to these grown adults because they can't understand, or they can't put down someone's opinion or disregard someone's opinion politely and whatever. They just get upset and angry. But anyway, point is, Theo experienced apparently a different model. I don't know whether he was hyped, whether it was bias or whatever, but but we go the other way. You've got McKay Wrigley here. He says it's a really good chat model. He really likes it. And again, maybe it's a personality thing. API pricing is incredible, which it is. Although, again, I should probably have that tweet up, but someone mentioned that actually it's wasting a lot of tokens as well. But there was the efficiency of the token usage was apparently a lot better. I trusted in that, which is why I moved all my AI stuff over, but I found it to be too slow. But that's neither here nor there. He's saying he's going to stick with Claude Code. I'm going to stick with Claude Code. I really like Claude Code. But yeah, coding wise, it was just too friggin' slow. It was taking ages to do stuff. And overall I wasn't that impressed with code. So all in all, just a mixed bag. I think Sam Altman realizes the rollout could have been a little bit better, maybe a bit like, I don't know. It's just kind of all over the place. You've got different people saying different things. Don't know. And it all just comes down to like, just use what you think is good for you. All of these AIs respond differently on different days. Maybe you're a bit more, annoyed, so your descriptions are shorter or something like this. Like they're so undeterministic that I think it's just a case of getting your hands in the code, in the model, and using it and seeing if you like it and if you don't like it. So that's my spiel. We will get into Kimi K2, but a little bit later on, which I've in the roundabout way kind of been enjoying the last hour or so. Kimi K2, but yeah, GPT-5 could have gone a bit better. Anything more to add?
No, it's mid.
Yeah, I take it. I would use. Why is Notion so bad? Only thing to add really is, I've got it here. I know we hate benchmarks and blah blah blah, but the fact of the matter is it's scoring very very high on all of these benchmarks, which again just goes to show that it's the usage of the app of the. Why do I keep saying all this code stuff? My head's going in app mode.
You're using cursor way too much.
Yeah. So there's no doubt about these numbers and the score. And I think I saw something that actually won a coding challenge, an AI coding challenge, I'll add. So it is no doubt, scoring very, very high points in all of these things, beating out some of the best models out there, long reasoning, agentic capabilities, all of this. Vibe checks, which is an interesting one. But that doesn't necessarily equate to a good model. So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have got something super exciting, which unfortunately, I wish I had more demo to talk to you about. But, actually, I'll go to...
Should we...
let's go back.
You want to share...
share my screen, is it?
No, you aren't, but I can show it.
What's that? What are you saying, boy?
Here we go. Now you're...
Cool. Is that Chrome have actually released a language model. You can see Addy's saying here, you've got a language model built into Chrome. And it's called Gemini Nano. And it's pretty cool. So he's just writing a prompt here and he's console logging the prompt, and it's pretty cool. It does image understanding. It does speech transcription as well, like voice. It's got text summarization, the usual stuff you'd come to expect from using a model. Works across the board, obviously, because it's built into Chrome. I could actually said about this, like on one of our previous episodes, that they're building it directly into the Chrome. But I think this is a statement of that it's actually usable. Again, I'm sorry, I tried. The documentation is pretty rubbish, but I'm guessing you have to be in some sort of group or something or other. But uses 4 gig of RAM as well, which is really cool. Very small, obviously. We talk about 16 gig and all the rest of it.
Yeah, Chrome just taking 4 gigabytes more. It's nothing on top of what they are already taking. It's just a tiny bit more.
Yeah. The only thing is that I'm uncertain about, and they've actually flagged it here. Let's Go here. It takes 22 gig of free space. And I don't know whether that's the model, but 22 gig of, and then they have this little built-in model should be significantly smaller. So I'm not quite sure what this is. I tried playing with it. I tried using it, downloading it, or doing something. I was, wrestling around with it, but I couldn't figure it out. You should be able to just run this, and it will download the model. And then you set up, not that one, sorry.
So wait a second. So this is a model that you download on your machine, and it is a part.
It just runs inside of Chrome. So this is an API that your website could use.
Yeah, this is like super cool. And is this the end of alt text for images?
Well, why would you say that?
Like, if your browser already can analyze images, why do you need to write alt text? Like, the alt text can be generated if it's empty by the model that is running in your Chrome.
Mm-hmm. So I would say no, because for two reasons. One, for permissions. Like, it's not just going to, it's not just going to like run AI on your machine. Annoyingly, I think we're far, far away from AI running like behind the scenes
24/7.
Yeah, because people are too sensitive, even though it's already been happening on pretty much everyone's Apple device. The other aspect is that the website itself might not have like implemented the call to that, because it's an external API. It needs to be the website that takes charge of doing that. So definitely not yet, but like I think that people who need that feature probably have some sort of plugin, don't they? I don't know.
So here's a question, like, what are the benefits of having such a small model? I understand it's quite good for the size, but it's not comparable to, bigger models. And if you are inside of Google Chrome, you are connected to the internet. So why not, call an external API and just use a much bigger, more performant model than a smaller one that takes the speed of your machine?
I think privacy again. It's privacy.
Okay.
It's speed. It's going to be a lot faster because it's a smaller model and it uses less like resource. I mean, they must have done comparisons and the trade-off of having a local model, with not the world's knowledge necessarily, but what is deemed pretty universally, So
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Because like a lot of these cool projects are just cool projects. People do it without like comparing it or have a real world, example or use case. They just do it because they are passionate about, and then we see how well they get implemented. Google has done hundreds of thousands of these projects, but it's really cool. I am actually looking forward to it, but I just don't know like what is the actual use case over another model but you mentioned privacy, so sure.
Yeah. And like I say, it's an API that websites can use, just like you can use, scroll, add event listener and blah, blah, blah. So we have, because obviously you've got all of these Chromium forks, Dia, Comet, pretty much all of the AI browsers are Chromium based and they're built on top of it. This could potentially provide a foundation for all of those forks to leverage off. So it's pretty, it will be interesting to see what the community does with it, what clever ways they can utilize it. So I'm down for it. I'm really getting into the local stuff right now. I've had 2 conversations recently about setting up a completely localized AI system, and I might even buy a nice PC or something and have just a local model, because privacy is a thing,
At the price of that, you probably won't be able to travel as much.
No, exactly.
You travel and access your own PC at home.
Well, that's it, right? I'd be tunneling in. I'm trying to figure all that out. First of all, my local network, then the world.
Exactly. So for the next one, we should stick to the topic Google Chrome and Perplexity trying to buy it. I find it
I mean,
to be
should we run the ads and then we'll get back to
sure.
we'll jump
Yeah.
right into that.
So we'll have an ad and continue talking about Google Chrome. And maybe
Buying
these.
Perplexity.
No.
No, Perplexity the other way around.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Support for this episode comes from Flowbase. If you are building in Webflow, Framer, or Figma, Flowbase can help you build much faster. With over 4,000 components to choose from, you have a huge variety of wireframes and super clean, nicely designed sections that you can put together by just simply copy-pasting them to your project.
Over 15,000 icons as well, over 1,000 illustrations.
They also have a super helpful Webflow app called Boosters. With Boosters, you can add things like sliders and marquees and count-ups to your project with a few clicks and without any coding. So yeah, big thanks to Flowbase for supporting the show. If you want to try them out, go head to flowbase.co.
And just for you guys, I want to show a discount. Command Flowbase, all capitals, for 20% off any plan. This is a limited offer, so get in there early.
All right, that's it. Let's continue with the show.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Take it
so
away.
Google Chrome. You want to buy it?
Should we go halves?
Well, this is not a huge news, but this is more of a funny one because Perplexity is worth probably around 14 billion, somewhere in the article says. And they are trying to buy a company or like a company essentially that is worth twice as much as their own worth. Like, how does that work? So apparently, like Perplexity's investors would pay for that. So it's basically, I don't know how all of that would work exactly in action. But yeah, they are not such a big company and trying to buy a much bigger one. And this is coming out after they released Comet, their own AI browser.
Yeah. Very strange. Very, very strange. I mean, I think they would just ditch. They would just, I don't know. What are they actually buying?
Yeah.
What are they
like
buying?
Chrome, well, the users.
But like, I'm sure Google own the users. They just log
true.
in through.
It's like, so what are they buying? Because Chromium is open source and Google Chrome is, not one of the best browsers. Chromium is amazing, but like Google Chrome is just meh. Yeah. So I don't know what they are buying. This is similar to the situation we had with OpenAI trying to buy what was it again? Windsurf, and we were also confused why they were buying that.
It says here as well, the company has not offered Chrome for sale and plans to appeal the US court ruling that found it held an unlawful monopoly in online search. So I heard about this, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's for sale. So what would are they just throwing money out there?
Probably because the US government is trying to split Google Chrome from Google because they own a monopoly and they are paying what 20 billion, I believe, a year to Apple. 12 or 20 billion, something like I think it's 20. It's like big number, just so that Apple uses Google as their default search engine and things like this. And they want to split it in pieces, Google Chrome being one of them.
So Perplexity does not disclose how it's going to fund the offer. It seems very strange.
That's why you could offer you could make a counter offer. Like, you don't have to disclose how you are buying that.
How very interesting. Again, like you say, already has Comet. and it's pretty good. What browser are you using? Are you still on Dia?
Yes, I am
Yeah.
not 100% transitioned to Dia, but like I use it like pretty much like 95% of the time. And the other 5% is split between other browsers where I need them. Dia is not 100% was it like reliable for me yet. And the Google Meet screen sharing stops, like it just doesn't work. So whenever I have a meeting with my students or with my clients, I actually use Safari
Yeah.
because it just works. Yeah,
I've had no issues on Comet. No issues.
maybe I should try Comet.
Yeah. I'm not really. I'm using it. Yeah, I'm using it to chat to pages. But I'm not really actioning things like I thought I would. I thought I would be doing, say, take something from this page, put it in that page, this and that. I think we got burnt very early on trying to do something in Webflow and it just wouldn't work. And it was just like, I might as well just do it myself by this point because it was just trying to do stuff and like,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm doing the same.
yeah.
I'm not using the AI as much as I thought I would. And I'm just going back to ChatGPT app because it's a separate window for if I want to focus on one work, which I like to work in that way. I'm not enjoying multitasking all that much. So I
Yeah.
focus on one thing and just using ChatGPT and then do the thing manually myself.
You know, we get into the discussion on productivity and working smart and not hard, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. And it's like, if I wanted to like burn myself out, I would probably set up a task on Perplexity to do this, that, and the other, leave it do its thing, then go on to another task, and then do, you know, if I was an octopus in my brain, I would do something like that. But to be honest, like I don't want to be that. I don't want to have various different things flying off all the time. I actually don't mind just setting an AI off and then just chilling while it does its thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm already hyper productive just doing that. I'm already doing hours worth of work in minutes. So why would I, you know, we spoke to Max from Warmwind who said their system is more for background task. And I still think the AI inside of Comet is for background task. If you are using Comet, you are a heavy AI browser user, I would love to know what you use it for and how effective do you find it really, all of this AI
So
stuff.
what do you do while your agent in Cursor is trying to write the code?
Just chilling, baby. Just chilling. Maybe I'm thinking, maybe I'm just like, okay, while it's doing my thing, like what do I want to do? And I'll make like a little list maybe in the prompt, because you can queue prompts sometimes. Well, certainly in Replit, you can queue prompts. Just trying to like think through user journeys. What do I need to do and stuff? I use that as thinking space because oftentimes we're building an app. Like I'm building and creating apps. I haven't just got like a list of things to do. I'm thinking like 3 or 4 steps ahead, you know? So yeah. What are you doing?
Grabbing a drink, touching grass.
Grabbing a drink, touching grass. You love touching
No,
grass.
I also mostly think about the next step. So
Yeah.
if it's either doing something manual or just thinking about the prompt for the next one, assuming that the current prompt is going to work and do the thing correctly, then I think of how I should prompt the next one. Yeah.
So it's another one of your one. You want to take us away with this one?
Yeah, this one is insane to me, and I don't know why the coverage around this, they don't find it too crazy. So you tell me. Nvidia and AMD are going to pay 15% of the China chip sales to the US government. So the US government, in a way, is it like blackmailing them? It is crazy to me that the government can do this, because in my head, like if there is so the governments are based on rules, and these rules are based on principles. In this specific case, we had Nvidia and AMD and other US companies being banned from selling their chips, advanced chips, to China. Why? Because they don't want China to get access to these like highly advanced technologies. They don't want them to get ahead. And the reason that they say why they are doing this is because of security reasons. So that is a principle. That is like, okay, based on that, we have our own worldview. We want our we want to keep everything safe. We don't want China to have access to these advanced chips. And now suddenly it's fine if you pay us 15% of your sales. That is just robbery. That's not working on principle. This is just essentially blackmailing them. This is insane. The
I don't know
government can
whether I'd.
do it.
I
It's
don't know
not
whether I'd
tax,
class it as blackmail. I would,
not
but I know what
blackmail.
you
What is
mean.
the
That was
better
the
word
thing.
for it?
Yeah, there's a different word for it. I think it's just. I'm thinking the same thing. It's like, oh, privacy, and then just pay us some money. Water under a bridge, no problem,
Yeah,
no problems.
we'll be
It's
fine with
never
it.
about privacy. It's just lying. It's about money. It's all about
Yeah.
money, and that's Donald Trump in a nutshell. And we've known we should know this. We've known it all along. He's just a businessman, all out to get money. That's all he wants. And this is just really weird behavior. Really weird. And China, I saw China's comment. China was like, what did they say? Where is it? Something along the line, and it was only Nvidia who said it, was something along the lines of we'll do whatever we need to do to take part in the world market.
Yeah, but this
Something
is
along those lines. It's like we follow the rules the US government sets for our participation in the worldwide markets. It's like, yeah, but do you not see that that's like
these are not rules. These are made up. These are completely made up because it's not based on anything. Imagine
you either have a national security problem or you don't. Like,
yeah, like imagine you not being able to do business with a specific country, and you'd be like, okay, sure, because it's based on whatever, and then the government says, well, actually, if you pay us money on top of taxes or whatever, then it's fine.
It's kind of like, I don't know the ins and outs of it, and maybe someone can fill us in here, but like it's like a US citizen going abroad and getting citizenship elsewhere. They still have to pay the US taxes. They still have to pay US taxes, even if they've moved to a different country and they're, whatever. Whereas if I get citizenship somewhere else, I'm done with the UK. Like,
it's the same in Germany. We have to pay. We have to pay like the US. We have to. So if I go live somewhere else because I have a kid here in Germany, they will actually make me still pay taxes because they can say, well, you still have a life here. You have family or whatever. You can skip it if you can actually prove that you have nothing to do with this country and you don't live for you don't come even to visit more than I don't know how many months, but some months. So
there's something similar for the UK. There's something similar. I think it comes down to what are taxes for, right? They're for public services. But if you're not in the country utilizing those services and apologies for the lack of word, but you're not like a drain on society. I know it's the wrong word to use, but like with the US, it doesn't matter. You could be fully like, in a complete different country, different passport or whatever, new passport, but you always pay US taxes. It's just ridiculous. It's just like, I don't want to say horrendous country because it's not a lovely country, but it's just
the workarounds are like the shell companies and the offshore accounts that these billionaires and millionaires do. So even though they are in the US, their money is not in the US or whatever. So
wild, absolutely wild.
This is wild.
Let's move on to Claude Sonnet, very graciously giving us a million token context window. which is a 5x increase, process 75,000 lines of code or hundreds of documents in a single request, which is pretty cool. I'll take it. My comment to this is that context size is a little bit overrated, but I'll take it. Being aware of what they call what's it, man in the middle or whatever, that you kind of lose things in the middle of when it's a large context and all this, that, and the other. But again, if you know how to use it, take it.
Tell me, what do you think of context window? Like how important it is to have whatever, like 1 million context window, and does it actually like benefit you in coding if you go from 100K to 1 million?
Well, as I say, my comment here, context size is overrated, but I'll take it. Like, oh no, I'm not even sharing my screen. Boom. There's the man of the hour. And I'm very much someone who does not. I'm much more meticulous with my coding. I'm like, here's the file that I want to here are the files that I want for you to look into. I don't necessarily give it broad, whatever. And that's my way. That's my style of coding. So I'm not all about context size. I've never run out of context size. I'm always like, when I'm done with my task, new chat, compress, compact. So I'm not that fussed on having 1 million. My experience with Gemini Pro isn't actually that great. It's got a massive context window. Maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. But you're more encouraged. You're more encouraged to be less meticulous with what you're trying to do. And you're greedy. You'll use that 1 million context. But saying that, I know there are tons of people who work on much bigger code bases than I do, working on much bigger, more important products than I do. So for me personally, take or leave it. I'm not that fussed on 1 million context because I was never hitting the 64,000 or whatever it was before, or 200,000 it was before. Because saying that, it's not even available for us mere mortals yet. It's only available for API users with tier 4 and custom rate limits. So it's actually for the privileged few that are allowed to use it right now. Broader availability will be rolling out over the couple of weeks. I had a little look on OpenRouter. Still says 200,000 tokens context window. So I haven't had a chance to enjoy it yet. But it is, it's a welcome change.
Yeah.
Large, because saying that as well, one thing I do is I do this a lot. Whack on Claude Opus 4.1, pay all the money that I need to pay when I know I'm making a very big, very important change. And I won't get it to edit any code. I will say, give me a plan before changing any of the code. And then I'll implement it with Sonnet. Or again, depending on the extent of the change, I might implement it with Opus. But that's just my style, baby. That's just my style. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. I'm just Sam. So yeah. But what I mean by that is a change where I'm not being meticulous with specific files. I'm like, look at this code base, because there might be things that I'm not thinking of or planning for or something like that. So please go ahead and look at it all. So, but again, my code bases using Claude Opus have not hit that context limit. So there is a change, sorry. Under 200,000, we're still sticking with the same price plan. If you're over 200,000, it's doubled. So you are definitely paying for that increased context window. So really there's just something to take into account. So yeah, again, I'm not going to complain. I mean, it's there. Oh, and it's just Sonnet as well. It's important to say it's just Sonnet, not Opus. So yeah, I dig it. I like it.
Sure.
You aren't actually. I keep forgetting. What model do you use? You just use
I just
whatever's.
mix. I know I make. I
You
I
auto.
yeah. I no. Actually, I do choose different models to see if I get better results, but like my experience hasn't been so amazing with Claude. Not much more different from any other model.
But you're
Again, we
using
go
it
back
through
to
Cursor, though, right?
yes. I go to
Mm.
I use all of the models through Cursor, and as I mentioned, I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks ago, I made a very simple React app, and I showed it to my developer, and he had a stroke. How bad the code quality was, even though it was a very simple React app. Apparently, the models that I was, and I did it twice, by the way, and it was just trash. Apparently, like the code quality, the using like depreciated syntax or like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was apparently not, and it didn't work the way I wanted to.
And this is Claude.
I used Claude, Gemini, and OpenAI. Yeah.
What is a mixture of
Yeah,
just
I
jumping
actually
around,
don't know
creating this, working on the
yeah,
same code bases.
yeah, I don't know which one I started with, but I did actually struggle quite a lot, like hours and hours, and didn't get it even close to what I wanted to do. And it was things with shaders, and a
Yeah.
bit more complex.
I reckon you do better with something like Replit or Lovable, where there's just you're riding a bike with training wheels off.
Yeah,
With
I don't want to. I couldn't because I needed like I can't disclose what I was working on because of NDAs, but it was
we'll
like
bleep it out.
specifically like components that I couldn't like have within another platform. It had to be local and yeah, try them out. So I did try and didn't work at all.
But even from like a project setup standpoint, I'm thinking like just setting up a project that has the kind of like the foundations and the structure of like just an app, and then when you're in Cursor, sticking to your files. Which again, you're riding a bike with the training wheels off because you need to know like I only want you to work in that file, and I know you only need to look into that file. So
Yeah.
yeah. So long and treacherous roads you're on, rocking Cursor with the training wheels off.
Yeah, but it's fun. I'm
Yeah.
learning the coding by doing these like things that are way too complex for my level, but I'm still tackling them with AI.
Jake has asked, what do we think is the best AI for writing, especially for job searches? What kind of job, for a start?
When it comes to writing, what do you use?
So I always go to Claude, but
Interesting.
nothing more than because a marketer, my friend Kieran, says that he uses it for writing, and I've heard it's good for writing. Design jobs. That's what Jake said. And what kind of writing are you doing? Like, what do you mean? But when it comes to writing, are you talking about literally like job applications? Because my mate has had very good results with ChatGPT and applying for jobs through that. But yeah, it is more so Claude and OpenAI. I'm all over, to be honest, Jake. I'm all over. Like, if it needs a lot of research and it needs a lot of up-to-date data, I'll use Perplexity. But the good thing about Perplexity is because Perplexity is a layer on top of Grok 2.5, Claude. So, you can actually choose your base model and then Perplexity is doing its magic over the top of it. But that's when I need research and input and all the rest of it. So that's like blogs and social media. I'll use Perplexity. I'd be tempted to try Grok, for writing.
I should try that as well. I use just ChatGPT and the app because of Canvas, because of how easy it is to go into some lines and change it, even though it gets frustrating when I ask it to tell me something without changing the content inside of the canvas, and it just doesn't listen and rewrite the entire thing. And then I have to undo things and redo things again and again. I just use ChatGPT because of the canvas, and I'm not really happy with the writing style, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't get it to sound the way I want. I'm very particular when it comes to writing. I want to write like a human. I don't want to sound overly complex, or the simple M dashes that they use. I don't want to use any of those. I want to write the way that I want. So I'm actually defaulting more and more to just using grammar check. So I just India as well. I have a grammar skill. I think it's called, that I just do. I write something and I just say /grammar, and it just checks the grammar and rewrites the grammar without changing the tone and everything else.
Yeah, and that's another thing as well. Like Jake just said thanks, but the tool itself plays a part in it as well, because Perplexity has spaces, where you can create a new thing in the context of the space. So you can set you could potentially have a cover letter writer, which it says write in this tonality, and does it have web search, and what tools can it call, and stuff like this. So you create your own writing person. I mean, ChatGPT has custom GPTs, right, and things like that. Yeah. So I think the tool, but I don't think Claude has anything. Does it? I don't know. Does it have something?
I'm not sure.
But you got projects. Describe what you're trying to achieve and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the tool will matter as well, more so than necessarily the model, and how it can, create taking a set of parameters, whether it's got file input and all the rest of it. So yeah, not much of a writer though, to be honest. I do social and Perplexity, and that's kind of it. Let's look into Miyagi.
Yeah.
Which Bradford Huber, it's been in sort of beta for like a little while. And I think Miyagi, and now it's live. I think he collaborated with the guy who did X-Atom as well.
Yes.
And on this, which is really cool. And essentially, it is a vibe code plugin for Webflow, which is really, really cool. And you can choose different models. And this was my first experience with Kimi K2. And I've got to say, I was pretty impressed. Let me see if I'll stop sharing my screen a sec. And
so what does it do when it write code? So you open the app inside of Webflow, and then you ask it to make a component, right there. Does it also create the HTML inside of Webflow?
Yep, it creates the HTML. It does whatever. Basically, from my understanding, it's basically an AI agent that interacts with the Webflow MCP.
Okay. So can you tell it to create a slick slider using CMS collection? That would be the next level.
Let's play, because I'm just logging into Facebook now. If all of my
Facebook,
why
Facebook? Why Facebook? So
I'm logging into Facebook now. No,
so you use Facebook.
Do you know what? I've not used Facebook in ages. I have no idea why I said Facebook.
It's funny that I'm, shaming you for using Facebook.
So you can see here, I'll create this beautiful website with Miyagi.
Amazing. Award-winning.
There you go. Look at that. And obviously it looked a bit better. It wasn't much better, to be honest. I was just playing around with what it can actually do. And one thing it couldn't do here, if I just open up, give me design mode. Design here. Okay. If I bring up Miyagi launch. So you can do two things. Oh, come on. Let me do this so I don't have to.
I have access as well, guys, but I haven't gotten the chance to use it, but I plan on doing it. Actually, my co-founder had also this idea a while back to build this, but I didn't.
It's very well
I
done.
didn't like, yeah, I didn't
This-
want to tackle this because I don't have. I want to be like very clear about. I don't have any internal information from Webflow saying that they do this, but I would easily imagine that they would do something very similar inside of Webflow.
Mhm.
Wouldn't it make sense for every single tool to have an app like this that interacts with the tool, that can do at least like the basic stuff, and then you take it from there?
Potentially. Well, as with most things, when you try and do a live demo, it's not friggin' working. But I have a feeling it's more my end than Miyagi's end, to be honest. Nothing to do with Miyagi. But there's two modes. Maybe we can potentially work through the screen share, the video here. So there's a design mode, which you can create elements, you can, change styles, things like this. Let me find generate code, deploy code. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. So you can apply, this is you choosing the context, and you can say just the element with styles, or include the element and its children. And then whatever you type is exactly what it could do. So I really want this to work, because I really want to do like a live thing of it. Launch. See, it just keeps asking me to log in. So it's really, really, really annoying. Frustrates me. Where are we here? And yeah, you can ask it to do a bunch of stuff. What I found really interesting is that you can ask it to create GSAP animations, and it will create like a GSAP animation, which, by the way, you do need to copy and paste into the code. So it's seemingly not interacting with the Webflow interactions panel. It's literally just giving you a coded animation to do, which is, it's all right. You can choose between Kimi K2, which was really fast actually.
Okay.
I didn't try 2.5 Pro, and 2.5 Flash. I didn't try those, but those are the models that you can choose. You can see it's got Kimi K2 just in the screenshot here. You can do anything that it basically leverages the Webflow API. So whatever you can do, or whatever you need to do, whatever you can do in the Webflow API, you can do through Miyagi. And that's why it's just a wrapper around the MCP to then interact with the Webflow API. So really cool. Change the style. I managed to, on my website here, even though it looks like complete, chaos, this was me adding variables. I told it to choose a color palette and add them as variables and this and that. That's why I was just really messing around with it. I told it to make an animation for this intro thing, but I haven't got GSAP installed, so that's why it looks like it does.
But you don't have to install GSAP.
Yeah, I do. I don't have interactions yet, so presumably, if you've got interactions installed, it would just work. But I just don't.
Can you go to your page settings?
I can't be asked to go through all that now. And what else we got? And it's got this quite nice thing as well, which I found they've got a nice prompt library. So this might even give you a bit of an insight about what it can do. So they've got here, add alt text to all images. So this can't work with Kimi K2 because it doesn't have image recognition, but with Gemini, you can do image recognition, which is really cool. Organize all of your media, fix insecure links, which is really cool. And they've got this weird, I do this sometimes, actually. I wrap my things in HTML elements like this, but yeah, export all the classes, find and replace HTML attributes. Really cool. So it's got direct access to the HTML code. So when you say, can it do like a slick slider? I have no doubt it can do a slick slider, and it will work through, what the HTML that it needs, and then gives you the code. And in fact, I tried to do an unlimited thing for this. It didn't work, but it gave me the CSS that I needed to copy into the page. The other thing is that I think it's got a little secret weapon here, which is basically, I can't really show it. Let's try logging in again, or at least opening up my login panel. It's basically got Slater built in.
Oh.
And this is what they call code mode. So it's got two modes. It's got design mode and it's got code mode. See, it just does this and whatever. And in code mode, you can vibe code, or you can just create files, JavaScript files, CSS files. And then through the options, you can choose which pages those JavaScript files and CSS files actually load on, whether they load on all pages or specific files or specific pages. So it's really cool how you get basically Slater built into Miyagi. Really, really cool, actually.
Do you have to log in via Slater, or do you have to like?
No. What I mean is, it's
Like
Slater functionality.
So it's not like actually.
No,
I see.
Yeah. So it starts at $49, so it's not cheap. But like I say again, you get Slater. Really, really fast, really effective. I was really impressed with actually how well it was, how well it worked. And I've spoken to Bradford, and he's kind enough to just share this code for our listeners. If you basically sign up for the app just like normal, you'll get a little banner notification to say we're giving away tokens. And if you put launch party, all caps hyphenated, you get 300 credits or 500 credits here for free. So you get to try it out. So it's quite a nice little gift he's given us.
By the way,
really cool.
The pricing starts at 0. Like you can just have it.
You can use it for free. Yeah.
30 credits for 30 credits, I believe, per month, or $19 for 150 credits.
Yeah. So there we go.
And then it goes up from there. Yeah.
So this is the plan you get for free if you use the code.
Exactly.
So pretty cool. I haven't tried some serious like design prompts yet. I would have done it on the call, but like I say, it's struggling to connect. It might just be because I'm using a Firefox browser. That's probably it, to be honest. Maybe I can quickly do something.
It's super early as well. What I don't understand is like design versus coding agent. So if I want to do a slider, I need to click coding agent, right?
Let's share this screen. Stop screen, invite, share screen, window, choose window, boom, boom, boom. Right, so this is a Chrome. This is Comet now. So let's take back control here. Oh, I need to accept the request. In fact, let's just close this window down. Let's play. Let's play with it. Oh, come on. Let me just log in.
I got it open on my in a Webflow project.
Okay. If you get it up.
Yeah, the code version. I'll share my screen if I get anything interesting. I said create a slick slider with 5 slides, each taking about 30% of the screen. I know this is like not a really good prompt, far from it, but something quick. And I assume a lot of people would prompt it like this.
So if you just look at my screen right now.
Yeah.
So you've got the design agent.
Yes.
And you've got CMS agent, which is coming soon.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to be able to interact directly with the CMS. Design agent is, as you'd expect, you're interacting with the the actual canvas itself, right? You select this, and then you can add the context. You can either, apply it to the current page. You can choose a page and to vibe out a section from this, from a different page or whatever. Selected elements, and then so if say you've got an empty div, or you could just say, what is it, current page, add slick slider to the page and see what it does. It's pretty quick. Look. Let me add a sexy. I don't know why, but I was like, create a sexy color scheme, and now all of a sudden it tries to make everything sexy. Failed to create elements from canvas. There seems like there's something going on there, but it's still chugging through. Look, but it's, and it might give me some JavaScript, or it might give me some script to add to the actual page. But current action take is too long. Please wait or cancel. It's probably we're probably sending it all the users through the roof now with that free launch party code. How giving them loads of traffic. That's why it's so slow. Here we go. GSAP animation. And this, I mean, I'm not expecting to one shot this, by the way. I'm not one of those mugs who just think, oh, it's just going to work. Like we'll no doubt have to tweak this, but let's just see how it goes. Let's just see what we end up with. But it's quite nice, Who do you think this is for? Who do you think would benefit from this? There you go, look.
It's hard to say, like, beginners, because if you don't know
sometimes
what
it is
doing,
really nice just to like apply a bunch of styles with a prompt. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean beginners. Like, just say put the border radius and background and blah blah blah, and it'll just do it.
That's actually nice. So for like big design systems, I'm not sure if it can, for example, add a component to all pages, because this is something that Webflow should really have by default, but they don't. But with an app, you theoretically could do it. So that is, imagine you have a website with 100 or 150 pages, and then the client asks you to add a new CTA. And then you have to go to every single page manually and paste that component.
Yeah, imagine that. That'd be mental. Or you haven't created a component. You could say find all instances of this button, replace it with this button, and make that into a component or something like that. Something like that. But like prompting is a nice interface. The other thing I wanted to show you real quick then is just how the coding agent works. Now, this again is the replacement for Slater. If it loads.
But does it like publish the code to like their environment and then load it from there?
I believe so. Yeah, because Webflow can't store files, right?
Well, technically, not currently, and you could store them as text. By the way, that's how some people do it. And then you load that. Yeah.
So here we got some. These are my chat sessions. They've changed this. This looks different. Browse files.
So
here we go. Right. Here's some CSS, some JavaScript. You have to copy and paste like a line of. I think this is how you publish it and whatever. Is that what it is? Script connection. So it's this here. So if we look here, okay, files, get my Miyagi. So they're storing the files on their server, and they're alternating between staging. They're doing the automatic alternation between staging and production, or you can have that control yourself.
So I see. What I don't love is that I have to do this script connection manually. Why can't the app do this for me?
Yeah, because it can't add code in yet. I don't know whether that's a limitation of Webflow. Like, you can't add code to a website through the Webflow API.
Pretty sure you can.
When you first load up Miyagi, it will take you through a thing, and that thing says just Where is what did I just see? I saw something. Here we go. It might even say something here about that limitation.
I see.
And it might, you know, it might be to do with it adding it to the head and body, you know, the site settings. It might be able to add it on a page, or it might be able to add it as an embed element on a page or something like that, but it can't do it normally in the head. But maybe that will change. Maybe it won't change. But yeah, overall, pretty impressed. Pretty cool to really clean. Like they've done very well in the launch. Like everything's clean, very professional. They've done very well, I think. It's a fair play to them.
Yeah, it does look really good, and I really hope this like gets better, because I want to actually use this. I want to do like broad design changes, and the CMS one also is nice. Like, let's say you tell it to go to a bunch of CMS items and update something. That would be really nice, because sometimes clients ask for things like this that are, yeah, I want this app to do it for me.
Well, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I think, you know, AI in general, at the very least, should take away long, boring tasks. Like, I know we want it to create, I know we want it to do like more or enhance us, but at the base level, it should do the rubbish crap that we don't want to do, you know, that we can do, but we don't want to do. I think that's where everyone should exist, at the very least with AI. At least
That's the hope.
do your dishes.
Yeah, that's the hope, that we can, you know, do the fun creative stuff that while the AI does the dishes and the laundry.
Yeah.
But so far it has been the other way around. AI has been creating like movies and short videos and images while we do the laundry.
I've been thinking about this, and of course you're going to get all that because everyone's having fun and playing with it. Like, a lot of people just are hating on it, and it's like this. But I've got a video coming out about my thoughts on all this. But let people have fun. Let people create slop. Do you
watch AI slop videos on your YouTube feed?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, I mean, I've always said I watch the voiceover stuff, but I don't actively sit there and like watch any. I've never watched an AI created video, but it doesn't matter. Again, you know, I think I sent another tweet out earlier on in the week. It's like, let everyone do what they want to do. Like, I'm flipping the script to my perspective on the world right now, which is just let everyone do their own thing. Like, let me just stay in my lane, have fun, enjoy my life. Yes, there's going to be destruction and crap around me, but who am I to get upset with all that? Just let them do what they want to do. Yes, there's just ridiculous, stupid crap on the internet and people just doing stuff that I just do not understand. But you know what? Just let it go.
Well, I understand your perspective, but that's fine as long as it doesn't affect you. So spamming does affect you. Like, I get emails from people who are not real people. These are like just AI bots sending me these emails that look like they are from people, and I see the M dashes, and I see the way that the writing style, and I see that they haven't seen my stuff, and they act as they have, and I just discard them. I just go next. I do not interact with them, delete them, and if I'm in a bad mood, I might even set them as spam. But you know what? Somebody reached out to me with a Loom video without his face, but he was showing my YouTube channel. And
I've got that.
You got that. And he had like specifics about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually book a call with you.
Oh, you actually did it, did you?
No, I haven't yet, but because I couldn't book the call too far in the future, I had to wait. But I'm going to. It's a young guy, like showing that they can reach millions of people.
Of course they can. Of course they can. I have my own thoughts on those types of people anyway. But I
get that. But that's not the point. The service is not the point. The outreach is the point. To me, is that human touch.
Yeah.
that I know they're not sending this to 2 billion people. They are this guy has seen my stuff, so he knows what he's talking about, at least when it comes to this content. It's not an AI tool just
Yeah.
randomly sending a generic thing. That's my issue.
What I find with those, maybe we're going off script now, but what I find with those is that they, and I went through the process of someone, and they do all the technical stuff. They tell you all the baseline technical stuff that you've known and heard about. And yes, they'll whip your ass into gear to get you to do that. Create a video on your profile page. Have ways to contact you and on your again, your profile page, and do this type of content or whatever, but well, not even do this type of content. And that's kind of where I'm going with it. What they kind of lack is a real understanding of your niche to actually help you drive through with your niche and what you want to do. It just goes back to technical SEO. It's like, yes, you can apply, this is just a one and done thing, maybe a bit of a plan, to make videos once a week or whatever, but they don't really work with you on a strategic level to identify who your niche is, what sort of stuff you're talking about. It's very surface level, and I guess you can get that with them, but that's where their advice.
Yeah, but that's about the service, and I was more commenting on the outreach. The service
of course,
because I know how to reach a lot of people with like short, at least.
Not millions though. Not millions.
Well, I have 2 videos with millions of views, and one with now currently at 800,000, the last one. But no, my YouTube videos, they are not at millions yet.
But you know what you can do if these emails come through and you see those M dashes, and it gets you riled up.
No, I did. I just discard them.
Practice stoicism, and the thing you can control is your own emotions. Just bat them away.
Yep. And when I say if I'm in a bad mood, I send them on spam. That is because I don't want to get more of them.
So angry.
No, I don't actually. I sip on my drink and then I just continue vibe coding.
Yeah. I'm on a very vibing out kind of like mentality recently. Like, again, I felt really sorry for Theo in his latest video. He's clearly really cut up. He's clearly really struggling right now with a lot of hatred from people. And it's like, these are just nobodies with nothing better to do.
Yeah,
They're the loud minority,
that comes with masses. So the moment you let like more people see you, or like that happen, the circle grows and the haters come. Like on my last video that I'm just showcasing a website, there are haters. Like, I'm just showing you a cool website. If you don't find it cool, sure, it's not cool to you, then just scroll. Just scroll away. Just don't.
And it's simple math. Well, again, just let them do it. Let them do it. Like it's just maths, right? You look at the number of views you got. You look at the number of likes you got. You compare that to the number of dislikes you got, and compare that to the number of hate comments. It's so easy to hate. It's much harder to spread positivity than it is to hate. So as you just do the maths and you say, well, there is 10 times more, probably 100 times more people who have not done that than there are who have left the negative comment, because most people just silently enjoy your content and silently give you a thumbs up on your content, because I barely ever interact with a video. But it doesn't mean I don't really enjoy videos. It's just, but anyway,
some people make videos in a way that they bait you for comment, by the way. So there are videos that are made
they'll
in
mispronounce things.
Yeah, well, those are funny. Like there is this guy, he makes internet like website videos, and in every video he has fans at this point. His fans look at the video in their view. They don't care about the main content of the video. They care about the things that this guy puts as what's it called, like Easter eggs. So the Easter eggs are, he shows a website, but there's a tab open, another tab, like how to hide a body. Not always like this, but sometimes it's just something outrageously funny, or he mispronounces somebody, or he mislabels somebody, showing Albert Einstein and saying Newton or something like this. So yeah, he does these kind of things. And well, that can be fun. That's my point. It can be fun. It can be without causing harm. It can be just cheeky, whatever. I don't mind those, actually. But there are people who make videos that are designed to make you angry.
Is that why you mispronounced Miyagi at the beginning of the video? Just
so
rile people up.
Miyagi,
yeah. Anyway, let's wrap it up there. Cheers for sticking around. To those who did. Next week, who knows what will be, what the world of AI web design and development will hold.
Yeah, this week was not too busy, but next week we'll probably have, I don't know, we should do predictions like Grok. Who will be on top of the leaderboard? I don't know. Just Gemini. Who's next? There will be one of these companies. Yeah.
Make your bets.
Making an increment. Yeah.
See you later.
Peace out.
Peace out.